Hello and welcome back to Quantum Suicide. On the last episode we went to a alternate timeline again. We met a man named Daniel and we learned that we had a wife. Turns out us on that universe or timeline had already left and destroyed the watch or something similar and left us there to subsequently lose. Anyway, so now we're just continuing on with the timeline. So why was so important that you so prudent to wake me at this hour? This. I pulled out the watch and placed it on the counter in front of Nicholas. The kitchen glowed in an eerie green tinge of light bouncing off the clean, polished surface.
Is it working?
I think so.
Is that not good news?
It is potential. I still don't know how it works, though. I'm sure what will happen if I press the button. Nicholas suddenly reached out and pinched my cheeks. My cheek hard. Ow! What the hell?
What?
What do you mean, what? You just pinched me. Do I really have to ask why?
I was unsure what would happen.
So then, why did you pinch me?
Why did you not pinch me back? Or even punch me?
Because, well, I get what you're saying. Is just, you won't know what happened until you try. But, you know, why it had to be pinch? I don't want to.
Point proven.
What point?
Sometimes things just work out in our favor.
Why couldn't you just say that then?
I must admit, I just really wanted to pinch you.
The Vogels are weird. They just want to touch people. Nicholas grinned like a cheeky schoolboy as I rubbed my stinging cheek.
So, what are you going to do?
I don't know.
How about you take the rest of the morning off and really think this one through?
Because we have a death game, don't we? I guess that's all I can do right now. Nicholas nodded and agreed. In agreement.
When you do decide on a course of action, please tell me.
Why?
Just in case pressing the button turns you inside out, I want a front row seat.
It's not science until it's observed. Well, thanks. That just fills me with a brim of confidence.
Thank you for filling me to the brim with tea. Good night.
Nicholas waved at me as he exited the kitchen, leaving me alone with the watch. Nicholas was right. I needed to take some time to clear my head and work my way through this problem logically. I scooped up the watch from the counter and returned to my quarters. I laid my head down on my pillow and took some deep, controlled breaths, whilst repeating the mantra in my head to focus on my mind. Pocket watch, pocket watch, pocket watch.
It's time for the next round of the deletion game. Vampire Children begins now.
What?
I will be coming to each person's quarters to name you either human or vampire. Until then, no one leaves their quarters. That's right. Mama Di has grounded you all.
That's unfortunate. How the hell did I fall asleep? Before I had time to dwell on my situation, Di appeared in my room, as promised.
Good morning, sleepyhead.
Just 1 second, Di. Just running a bit behind. I ran around like a headless chicken, attempting to pull myself together into something mildly presentable. I berated myself soundlessly and for needlessly wasting so much time.
What's wrong? Rough night's sleep, dear.
I can't believe that I overslept this much.
It's only 7 a.m. When were you planning to wake up?
I wasn't planning on going to sleep at all.
Well, you clearly still need the sleep. Someone's a grumpy boy.
I didn't react to the provocation, mostly because I was too busy pulling my uniform over my head.
Humans require a lot of sleep, don't they? It can only result in a better deletion game if you have all of your wits about you.
Does that mean we get to be excused this time? Do we have to play the game? I'm glad you still seem able to make this about you somehow.
On this ship, everything's about me. Look at me. I'm adorable.
I disagree. Yes, Di, I can't deny you that.
Aw, thanks.
Now, I believe you're here to tell me my fate?
Ah, yes. How could I forget? I'm very pleased to inform you that you...
Human. Just tell me already.
Not the vampire!
Yeah. I exhaled with
Doesn't a
relief.
bit of suspense just liven up your day?
Not really, just waste more time, doesn't it? It certainly does something.
Great to hear. Well, I have much better things to do than hang out with the likes of you.
Wow, thanks, Di.
Anytime.
Di dubbed a mock curtsy at me as she departed. 10 minutes later, Di's voice blared over the ship's PA system.
Thank you all for your cooperation. You are now free to pass the time as you please. The game will commence in 2 hours. Good luck!
I placed the watch on the bedside table, focusing my mind on a more immediate pressing issue. I was one of the humans, along with 5 of the crewmates. I needed to figure out who the vampire was as soon as possible, or I would likely lose the game, along with my life. Even with the struggles of late, I feel like living was a state that I wanted to maintain. As I strode purposely out of the doorway of the corridor, I ran headlong into Nicholas. So Nicholas is the one who's the vampire this time, I'm assuming.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm okay. How are you? How about
I'm
you?
fine, thank you.
What brings you here?
I was actually hoping that we could have a word in private.
Sure, what's up?
In private?
Nicholas made his head gesture towards my quarters. I unlocked the door and followed him. He followed me back inside. When Nicholas was sure that my door was fully sealed, he spoke.
I have been named the vampire.
Thought so.
I
Damn.
know. I was not expecting this due to the statistically low likelihood of my selection, but it is what it is.
Okay, so why not work with your sibling?
I
So?
want you to be my Clyde.
Me?
Yes, it has to be you.
Why? Why not Beatrix?
Beatrix does not know that I am the vampire.
I mean, clearly you're telling us, not her. You haven't told
If
us?
she knew, she would be adamant on being my partner.
So?
There are 2 inherent problems with that. First, everyone would expect it, and would be suspicious of us as soon as we bred in round 1.
And second?
I am divulging this to you in utmost confidence. Please do not tell Beatrix what I am about to tell you. If we
Okay.
were to partner and lose, we would both die. I personally could not live with the responsibility for her death, but it would also leave the ship without a medic. Something that I would deem a much bigger problem.
Okay, that's fair. That's. I don't think I believe you, but yeah. I mean, either way, I trust you more than I trust Beatrix to tell me this information without having a ulterior motives. But you both still are Vogels, so you are happy possibly killing me by accident.
I'm glad you understand.
That's not so. I don't know. I can't tell if this was a joke this time. Nicholas smiled wistfully at me.
No, I think you know full well that is not it. Beatrix can be overly emotional, and because of that, she is very easy to read.
I guess so. So you need a partner who can play it cool.
Correct. I need someone who is just as charming and witty as I am if I am to have any hope of pulling this off.
Oh, Nicholas, I'm flattered.
Flattery aside, will you do it? Will you be my Clyde?
I'm more likely to agree to you than anyone else, I guess. Well, not true, but at least in this timeline, true. Yes, of course. Nicholas, you had me at I want you.
I told you that I could be charming.
Let's hope that flattery isn't a vampire's kryptonite. Nicholas and I laughed heartily. So, what do we do about Beatrix then? We obviously want to save her, so in the case that vampires win, she needs to avoid having the fewest number of babies to her name.
Correct. I think I know how we can achieve that.
Oh,
I've had a plan in place for a while now.
I'm all
I will
ears.
save it till the game starts. We do not want to garner suspicion by being apart from the others for too long.
Sounds
I
good.
bid you farewell, fellow vampire.
And also to you, sir. Nicholas executed a flawless sweeping bow before taking his leave. I was confident that Nicholas knew what he was doing. As a team, we could win this game. My stomach started grumbling. Oh yeah, I haven't eaten today. Whoops. It would definitely be smart if I grabbed a bite to eat before the game started. No brain worked well on an empty stomach. As I made to leave my quarters, I appeared in my path.
I need to speak.
Good morning,
I
I.
do not have long. Come to the server room.
I zipped away, leaving me quite confused. I had never heard her sound quite so human. She seemed worried, something I had never seen before, and made me deeply concerned. I looked up the location of the server room on my tablet, as I had never needed to use the room before. It wasn't long before I found the location marked and navigated there. I was already standing at attention, awaiting my
I
arrival.
must make this quick. Dai is brute forcing rogue codes and functions.
What does that mean?
She is attempting to take control, but I am doing my best to keep her at bay for now.
What's wrong? What's happening?
Dai discovered that the tablets belonging to the ship's personnel were capable of overriding the main system, and so she has patched that exploit.
Does that mean I can no longer deactivate Dai?
You can, but it must happen here, directly at the server mainframe.
But I still don't know the
This
password.
is your only chance. I have gained the security clearance required to allow you to override the system.
I told you I'm not ready.
Once you input the override code, the ship's AI system will reset.
I don't have the deactivation
The
code.
deactivation code is 5 words in length.
5 words in length. Eyes image flickered wildly as she struggled to keep Dai from regaining control. A screen towards the back of the server room came to life. An ominous cursor flashed on a password prompt screen. I disappeared and a voice called through the PA system.
You always had it.
Your override code. The terminal keyboard is case sensitive. Please use lowercase for all operations. Of course I know it. Cool. Even though I don't. Oh, that's the save. That's the timeline. There we go. We have Aspera. Or Peraspera. Something Peraspera. Cool. So something. Something. Aspera. And another something. Yes, I'm doing it because I have to. Ooh. Input not recognized. Screen suddenly shut off and lights dimmed in the entire server room. Oh, what? There was no response. Still nothing. I started my way to the entrance and when I saw from the glow of light from resonating behind me. Turned to face her. Dai, what the hell are you doing?
What am I doing? You're in my room, you pervert.
Once again, doing this for the 3rd time? This is the server
Where do you
room.
think I live, moron?
She was right. So essentially, that makes or Dai, for that matter, herself, is the contents of these servers. I'm so sorry,
Just
Dai.
get out. Sheesh. Can't a girl get a little privacy around here?
I still don't get why an evil game hosting AI would do this as a joke, really. I reached out the server room as fast as my legs could take me. I'd like to say that I honorably tried to scrub what I'd seen from my mind, but The after image of Dai was stuck in my head for good. Where was I? My stomach reminded me of the audible, with an audible gurgle. How could I forget? I headed to the kitchen to prepare myself something to eat before the next round of the game. Okay, doesn't look like everyone's dead in here. I started exploring through the pantry, and before the tins of flour and sugar, I found 2 containers which appeared to be chocolate cake and vanilla sponge cake. Jackpot. I was sure Kitashi wouldn't mind if I ate just one piece. I reached out in my hand to take a slice and... chocolate cake, clearly. Scooped up and deposited it on a plate. Making my way to the dining hall, I knew eating there would increase my chances of getting caught, but it would be worth it for the calming effect provided of a large window framing the infinite depths of space. Not being able to restrain myself, however, I started eating the cake in the hallway, resulting in only a mouthful left when I actually reached the dining hall. Oh, okay, and let's see, is that right? That's... Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yoshiki's already dead, and I'm... Okay. That's everyone. Literally. Oh, okay. Where? Dai appeared behind me, startled.
What have you done?
Ate cake. I ran with the unmoving figure of the captain on the floor. Didn't look like she was breathing, neither was Shizuka or Kitashi. I shook the tiny body of Melody. Melody, it's me. Monkey, wake
I'm
up.
scanning their vitals for any signs of life.
Did you do this, Dai?
What? No. Did you?
Clearly, you weren't you everywhere in the system? Shouldn't you not have access to the cameras? No, of course I didn't. Please tell me that they're alive. Maybe they're all just sleeping. Yeah, that's it, sleeping.
I can't detect any signs of life. They're dead.
Okay, and do I win?
The captain is dead.
Dai seemed to be taking this even worse than I was, if that were possible. I ran over to Nicholas, who was laying on the ground, head propped up against the dining hall wall. Nicholas, please. We have a game to win.
The captain is dead.
Dai, I know. What happened?
The captain is dead.
Dai set off in space, and she looked though mesmerized by something so far away, too far from me to see. Dai, what do we do? Dai kept repeating the same phrase.
The captain is dead.
She slowly faded away, leaving me alone in the dining hall with the entire crew lying dead at my feet. The ship's PA system bled out suddenly. The ship's course has been altered, redirecting, accelerating. Warning. Route intersects with a black hole. Collision imminent. Warning. Really? Really, Dai? What? I sprang to the bridge, where every screen flashed warning signs of the forebodings sick, deep red. Warning. Event horizon of the black hole breached in T-1 minute. Warning. Dai, what are you doing? Dai's voice trembled over the PA system.
The captain is dead.
Yes, okay, and? So what? I'm not, you don't have to kill me. That doesn't mean you can condemn me as well. Change course back now, Dai.
Captain.
Okay, damn. Okay, cool, so let's switch the timeline. So, we need to go back to Logi ship, I guess. Anything that prevents Vladimir's death. Let's go with 1.
Thank you for your select.
Please exit the room and await this round's results.
Cool.
In an unexpected turn of events, it would appear that everyone has chosen to attack in the first 15. Well, let's get straight to the results.
Yoshiki. Oh, what? Yoshiki.
Yoshiki.
What? Yoshiki looked at the captain helplessly.
Captain, I don't want to die.
Kimiko's face suddenly became desperate.
Please, I don't do this. Yoshiki is necessary to the mission. He's our only engineer.
Well, apparently the rest of the crew feel a little differently, Capitan.
That's not fair. We didn't know.
What if I can trade places with him.
No, Captain, it's fine.
No, it's not.
As much as we want to survive, I don't mind swapping places for you, Shiki. I mean, literally, we're just all we do is just hop to whatever the timeline to get killed anyway. So we're a magnet for
I'm
death.
afraid the results are final.
Please, Dai, not Yoshiki.
You know the rules, Capitan. Either you cooperate or I kill everyone.
Yoshiki pulled his the hands on the captain's arm, and she shrugged it off.
Fine. Kill us all.
Tears were streaming down the captain's face. Her current state stood in complete contrast to her usual flippant demeanor.
Captain, you know that's not right.
The captain wasn't listening.
Well, have at it, Dai. Kill us. Show us what you can do.
A malicious smile spread across Dai's features. She was clearly enjoying watching the captain lose her cool.
Captain! Kimmy!
The captain snapped and looked directly at Yoshiki, anger and fear evident on her face.
Kimmy, it's okay.
No, it's not, Yoshiki. It's not.
You can't sacrifice the crew for me.
I mean, it wouldn't even be for you. It'd be just sacrificing the crew, because you would die regardless. Still, though, it is unfair.
But I promised I would protect you.
At least Vladimir's alive, I guess, this time, so we can... I guess I'll bond with him, or Katashi. Already hung out with the Vogels.
It's okay. Really.
I failed you.
Kimmy, you haven't failed me.
Everyone else did, apparently.
Enough. It's time to decide how you're going to die.
Dai projected a segmented wheel and gave it a spin. The arrows swept over various options, finally landing to rest on.
Drowning it is! Congratulations, Yoshiki. Supposedly, this is one of the nicest ways to die. That being said, I haven't died, so take anything I say with a huge grain of salt.
I mean, if you think about it, it's just... drowning is just trying to take a drink that's too big for you.
Please die.
The captain was still attempting to bargain with Dai, to no avail.
Alright, kiddies, let's all head to the gym for Yoshiki's final hurrah.
We have a gym? How long? We've been here for 11 days and we've never once entered the gym. Dai marched down the hallway towards the gym, and as we all followed, Yoshiki walked beside the captain, who was having trouble regaining her composure.
Kimmy, please. It's okay. You'll fix this. I know you will.
I'm so sorry, Yoshiki.
Don't be sorry. Just fix this.
Okay. Yoshiki, I know you're trying to be, reassuring, but how did you fix this?
Now, if you'll excuse me, I believe I have a date with a pool. Now's my chance to show off my beach body.
To be fair, we've seen it. He's pretty good. He's ready. He's ready for beach season. Captain let out a small giggle in spite of herself.
This is hardly the time for jokes, Yoshiki.
That's where you're wrong. Times like these are the reason we tell jokes in the first place, to help us through tough times.
The man's got a point.
Okay. I need you to do something for me now, okay?
Anything, Yoshiki.
I'm trying to think of a joke to make, but can't think of
I
one.
need you to be the captain now, okay? I need the older sister I grew up with. I need you to be strong for me here.
The captain wiped the tears from her cheeks and straightened up. Yoshiki offered the captain a warm smile, who was now attempting to hide her grief. I mean, I don't think having a pool surrounded by all this equipment is a good idea. I think the pool and the equipment should be sort of separate. I could be wrong, obviously, but that's just my belief of the of this a more efficient layout, a more safer layout at least. We finally arrived at the gym. Dai had rematerialized next to the pool, forcing us to come to her. She seemed particularly pleased with herself as she watched us file in.
Last call for Yoshiki. Please enter the pool.
Yoshiki made his way over to the pool and jumped in next to Dai was standing.
Ugh, watch it. You'll ruin my hair.
You are a hologram. No, you will not.
Take care of Kimiko for me, okay?
She's most likely to stab me. Most likely in somewhere that will keep me alive so she can stab me again.
She
Course.
likes it best when you annoy her.
Noted. I'm good at that.
No, I don't.
Alrighty, watch your head, Yoshiki.
The pool glass cover is now in operation. Please stand clear. A pane of glass emerged from the edge of the pool and covering the entire pool surface. Filling pool, please stand clear. Suddenly, additional water began pumping into the pool, raising the water levels. Slowly but surely, Yoshiki was buoyed up towards the pane of glass by the rising water. As a last-ditch effort, he tried to floating on his back in order to breathe out what little oxygen there was left. This is one CG I never thought I would see. It's it's interesting. I think interesting choice of characters to show, and it definitely makes Yoshiki look. I guess look like he's not obviously as happy as he usually is, but then again, it's currently dying. But eventually, however, he was completely submerged in water beneath the sheet of glass. Panic began to set in, and he started banging on the glass. The entire room was silent, but for his bangs. It was long before the room fell silent.
It's done, Dai. Now let me retrieve him.
I don't think so, Captain. He'll remain where he is for the next hour, just to be sure. After that, you'll be free to do as you wish. You humans are far too resistant to drowning, in my opinion.
We didn't ask for your opinion, though, but you've got the power, so...
That's a wrap for this week, guys. Great work today. You all fought hard. I'm so proud. The next round will start shortly, so go and get some much-needed rest. Dismissed.
Okay, Vladimir. As soon as Dai realized everyone from the gym is released. The room emptied so very quickly. No one wanted to stay there longer than they had to. Only the captain and I remained behind, standing beside the pool. Captain, I'm sorry.
Me too.
Oh, well, that's a better reaction than I expected. Is there anything I can do?
Leave me, please.
I wanted to say more, but I could see the captain needed some space. I just as I was about to exit the gym, I had to speak.
I'm sorry, Yoshiki. I'm so sorry.
She had crawled onto the grass of the pool and was currently lying above where Yoshiki's body floated, lifeless.
You always were much more tolerable when you were sleeping.
She visibly winced at her own morbid joke.
I guess I need to work on my material for your sake, Yoshiki.
She giggled to herself awkwardly, in between bouts of tears. So I just had an idea. What if, in one of the timelines, obviously we die, but the captain finds the pocket watch. She presses the button. She teleports to the timeline to the timeline where Beatrice is the vampire, and for some reason, for example, if Yoshiki's already dead, she kills everyone. Because I don't recall if Yoshiki was dead in that CG, because he wasn't dead in that timeline. Because I distinctly remember trying to think of a plan to keep Yoshiki alive, while Beatrix thought of a plan to keep Nicholas alive. I finally left the gym and headed back to my quarters. Even after I crawled into the bed and closed my eyes, I saw that I could still hear the captain's anguished cries. Chapter 2. Been a while since we got back here. I slowly opened my eyes and the sound of crying filled my ears. I slowly sat up. Looking around my room, from where the sound was coming from, my room was empty and I was alone. I closed my eyes and continued to hear the cries when I realized the sound was coming. Sobbing last night were playing in my head. Kimiko. I lay looking at the ceiling for a few minutes before checking the time. 6 a.m. I didn't think about anything. The whole situation was just so much to deal with at the moment. I went to stay in bed, snuggled deeper into the sheets until nothing could hurt me anymore. But I could still hear it where the captain cries. Yeah, sure. Let's go see the captain. Let's make a save. I don't know. Get up and go see the captain. Unable to get the captain's cries out of my head, I thought it'd be best if I went to check on the captain. I wasn't sure yet on the relationship between all the crew, but the captain appeared to usually keep a distance from everyone. That must have been lonely. But we'll find out actually how she is, next time. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I can see you in the next one. With that, goodbye.